Hi, welcome to Ms. Cooper's art class. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make some holiday cards in this seasonal video. You'll make ones just like these. So let me show you some examples that don't directly have to do with winter holidays. A lot of times when I make greeting cards, I usually have watercolor paint and then gel pens or some kind of felt tip pen, blobs, abstract shapes, stuff that's really ridiculously simple to do. You'll see a lot of blobs that I then outline. Occasionally I'll have balloons that I fill in with patterns. To do this, you'll need some envelopes. You'll need some card material. I have some pre-made cards that are already creased. They're just not folded in half. I have a white Jelly Roll gel pen by the Sakura company. I'm also using my favorite pens, Pigma Microns. I have 03, 08, and 01 in black. I'm also using Posca markers. I have two sizes of white, and I also have a gold one. My gold one has been used a lot, so it's a little thick. I also have the Koi watercolor sets by Sakura, which I hadn't used before, but I tried them out for this video. So I have the Creative Artist colors, comes with a travel brush and some metallic colors and some fluorescent ones. I also have their standard set, which also comes with a travel brush, and the colors are so vibrant. So the travel brush comes in two pieces, and it has a little cap for the water in case you need to have it in the two pieces inside the case, which is pretty cool if I was ever going to travel with it. You'll also just need scrap paper, idea paper, pencil, that kind of stuff. So for my first example, I'll make some ornaments. They're so easy to make because all you have to do is make blobs of watercolor. So I'm using the fluorescent set for this one. I thought purples, pinks, and oranges are just happy, fun ornament colors. And I sprinkled a little bit of salt in the paint just to give it some interesting texture. I was still getting used to the paint. I could not believe how vibrant it was. And I'm not using watercolor paper for this. It's just kind of heavy paper. It has basically no texture and no grooves to hold the paint, so I just set it aside to dry as soon as I was done so I couldn't disturb it. On this card, I'm making a background to put shapes on top of, just my usual kind of line blobs. I like to make these for backgrounds of cards. They're very easy to do, and you can play with the paint texture. You can play with charging or just getting the paper wet and just putting some paint in the water and watching how it spreads out. A super easy idea is holly leaves. So a couple red blobs, a couple long green blobs. I did a couple spatters. I also charged the paint a little bit with some veins and stems in the leaves. Super easy to start with. I like doing little blob poinsettia flowers. So a red blob, a couple spatters to fill the space. I just made sure the green leaves didn't touch the red parts while I was working because all of it was wet at the same time, and that's okay for the style of card we're doing. I put a little bit of metallic paint in the middle too, it was just hard to see. I wanted to play with the metallics, so I did a couple of my line blobs. I had one kind of going across the bottom, a circle one. My idea with this one is to put some presents on top of it once the watercolor paint is all dry. And then I did some blue line blobs, another background. I was thinking of stars, since they're a great symbol for the Christmas holiday for sure. And it allowed me to play with texture just a little bit. So once all of these were dry, I went through and added some details. So for ornaments, so easy. Circle it, outline it a couple times just to keep it loose. It doesn't have to look too exact. It looks very kind of carefree and whimsical this way. You can see where I doubled over the lines. I also used a white Posca marker to add some highlights to the ornaments. It just makes it pop a little more. It makes the paint look extra vibrant. And then I felt like the background could use a little bit of sparkle just to fill the space. So I used my gold Posca marker. I've used this marker for shoes before, so it's a little beat up, but it still worked. The holly, super easy. Outline everything, add some highlights, done. It was my favorite one. The poinsettia, a gold metallic Posca marker in the middle, outlining some details with Pigma Microns, keeping those details loose, doubling over, real casual. With the blob background, add some presents on top. Sometimes I just add a little bit of gold stippling in pen to fill the space on cards like this, and then adding some patterns to the presents, so cute. I also tried using my gold Posca to make some stars on the blue background, but I kind of felt like the gold and the blue weren't quite enough, so I added some blue to gold gel pen. You can see the color changing. It's a really cool pen. And then I added a little bit of white just to vary it up, and I was a lot happier with that one. And then just a nice little snowflakes card with my light blue background. Although the white Posca didn't show up super well, I felt like that was okay because I was going to go in with the black pen anyway, and the white Posca marker just helped texture it up. I'll give you a trick. If you need to do writing on cards, get your writing correct first. Scribble some graphite on the back of your scratch paper where you've done your writing or maybe had it typed and printed out. What you do is you take it, graphite side down, put it on the paper, and push it through with a colored pencil so you can see what you did. And then you trace it over. You can see I'm adding more graphite, tracing over my letters with a colored pencil so that they're all correct. You can barely see it on the card, but I can see it, I promise. And then I can go over with the pen and make sure my writing is consistent. This is great if you don't really know cursive or script fonts, or if you just have trouble keeping it neat, or if you maybe have a small kid assisting you with these. And then the last step is the envelopes, something that coordinates. So for the ornament one, I chose little sparkles. For the holly, I chose some holly leaves. For the poinsettia, I decided it needed a little bit of writing, and then I added a matching flower to the envelope to make it look really nice, a couple gold sparkles. I liked gold sparkles for a lot of the envelopes, stippling, things like that. Some snowflakes, but again, with a couple dots to help support and fill the space. This was one of my favorite envelopes. So anyway, here are the examples. I'd love to hear which one is your favorite in the comments below. I think my personal favorites were the ornaments because of those bright colors, and then the holly leaves because it's so simple, and I liked the spatters in the background, just the light ones. Anyway, I hope this helps get you inspired, and I hope you give this a try. Happy holidays!